Welcome to the No Shot NBA podcast with Chuck and Duck. And engineer Ben behind the scenes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the No Shots podcast, episode 3.
Wee-hee-hee-hee.
The over-unders.
The overs, the unders, and everything in between.
Everything in between. I'm one of the co-hosts, Duck. Over here, we have Chuck to my left. Hello, Chuck. And then, of course, you right here, their sultry voice. Engineer Ben.
Every time.
My fucking cold afflicted.
Got so cold, got disaffect the microphone.
So cold I got lozenges.
Engineer Ben on the ones and twos. And, I mean, today we got a bevy of topics.
A boatload.
What do we got?
We got WNBA Finals recap. We got the over and unders, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We got the locks, the difficult ones, and the wild card.
Yeah, if only we could have come up with cool names for those.
Yeah,
This is an original concept.
This is a super original concept. No one's
Very original.
ever done this before. And then after that, we'll see. Maybe we got some season predictions, some awards.
Yeah.
We're going to go through all the over-unders.
Off the top, too, because
Yeah.
just
Not
gut, gut instincts.
Just gut instincts. And, yeah, that's that. But before we get to all that, No Shots podcast covered in blood? What? Jesus Christ is right.
All right. Enough goofing off.
Enough fluff.
Let's talk about what we did last weekend.
What
Yeah,
we
a little
do
life
last
recap.
weekend.
We do.
A little life recap, a little catching up.
I feel like we stepped into a 90s prog metal, just like alternate timeline
New world.
in Times Square, of all places.
Yeah, that was the strangest part about
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
What was it? What's the word I'm looking for?
Intergenerational?
Galactic?
Intergalactic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, intergalactic.
Yeah.
It was
Jesus.
like a portal. We went down. All right, maybe we didn't interest. We went and saw the band GWAR.
GWAR. Yep.
Yeah.
Famous 80s, 90s
Yeah, which
heavy metal
people
rock
seem
band.
to know about more than I realized.
It's been around since 1984.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 83 or something like that.
Yeah.
And some of the members up there are from like 88. So there hasn't been. I mean, there's been a lot of members, but not too many. Not like one of these other bands.
Much less turnover than an NBA team, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's
for
for sure.
And we walked to get what was the Palladium?
The Palladium.
Yeah.
Palladium.
We went
go
to
like
Portal at the Palladium. It took us forever to find this portal. It's what was the word?
intergalactic.
Why can I not say this word today?
Yeah,
Intergalactic.
Yeah, we went down those like escalators. I've never gone to a concert where you go down. escalators.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a basement concert, but not on an escalator.
But
Escalator
that
Jordan.
probably had stairs. No.
like Chapeau Rouge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go down the stairs to go
Yeah,
to the cool part of
yeah,
Chapeau
yeah,
Rouge. If you're ever in Prague, hit up the Chapeau Rouge.
You don't have to hit up
Check
Chapeau
people
Rouge.
know what we're talking
Okay,
about.
That's like the last place. But
Anyway,
no.
impressions from y'all, because I have been to. I'm GWAR experienced.
Yeah.
They call me
Yeah.
GWARls.
we call them GWARs.
Yeah, they do.
Most experienced member here.
That was great. I had a great time. I moshed.
we moshed.
Splattered with blood. It's really fun.
Drenched them in fake blood
Yeah.
and goo.
Yeah.
I was really upset towards the end of the concert because I felt like I hadn't had enough blood on me, and then I saw that they pulled out the machine gun to shoot us with the blood, and
Yeah.
I was like, gotta get into that.
Gotta
and
get
I
in
ran
there.
right
Yeah.
in.
Just
Anyway, a little more at GWAR. They dress up like aliens from another galaxy, and then they come
Intergalactic.
here and they kind of smut on humans.
Yeah.
And they're very sexual and lewd, and then they cut off people's heads and arms
Yep.
and scrape off skin, and into the audience goes some blood and
gallons of blood.
other.
Like alien ectoplasm or something.
Yeah, there was some blue
Alien
stuff.
green stuff.
Goo.
I mean, at one point he did just kind of
Slime.
like piss on us.
Yeah.
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 It was a red piss though.
I mean, it wasn't. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, super fun. A lot of moshing. I'm still sore. I totally jacked up my shoulder from
Oh,
moshing.
no. Danny's back on the IL.
Back on the IL.
Double
I just
IL.
got off the IL just to jump back on it.
Sorry.
But yeah, lots of moshing. Ben was the first one in there.
Oh.
Engineer Ben.
They were all over that.
During the opener, they're like, I'm getting in this bitch. I'm in there. I'm getting jacked up.
If there's a mosh pit, I'm going to mosh. That's you
More
know.
than likely.
And this was really fun. I felt like it's wholesome. It wasn't too violent
Yeah,
or
it
anything.
really
and
wasn't.
That's what I prefer.
Though, yeah, around the edges, does get a little violent.
It was a
because
little
there's
violent.
more space,
Yeah.
and there's so many big
And it's
dudes.
big dudes. Yeah.
Big,
And they would
big
just,
guys, yeah.
they're just barreling. And when they have space, it's kind of like, is this the way atoms work? I really can't remember. But when they have like more space, they bounce more. I don't know.
Like electrons and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I'm gonna
We
say
need a
yes.
science
Well, I'm
guy.
gonna say
Yeah.
we
Who
need a
is
resident.
we're going to figure out
science.
who is the science
By the end of
guy.
this
By the end
podcast,
of
we're
this
gonna figure out
pod.
who is the science guy. Well, yep.
All right.
All
Let's talk about the WNBA
right, let's get into it.
a little bit because I'm a little sad still.
Yeah.
The Liberty lost in 4 games.
4 games.
Lost in Barclays Center shamefully. Ionescu vomited into a trash can. Kelsey Plum
boy.
talked some shit.
Yep.
And then clarified that she wasn't really talking that much shit, but whatever.
Vandersloot,
Sure, she
airball to game winner.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There
but
was a
she had
couple
3
times
before
when
that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, she hit a 3.
She
But
hit
then
the
I
big
feel like
3.
she passed up another open shot.
She did like a layup, right?
Yeah,
She
a
did like
layup
Lincoln
and
Pence.
maybe also another 3 near the end there.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it was tough. It was a good, fun, intense game 4.
Yeah, it was.
The first 2 games were tough as a Liberty fan.
Yeah, I mean that game 2, they got just
Waxed.
blown off the floor,
Yeah.
and their defense was a mess that game.
Yeah.
So many backdoor cuts. That's why I mean this Aces offense is kind of beautiful. They're kind of they're a little Warriors-esque. I mean they don't shoot the 3 ball like that, but
Nearly as much, yeah.
they do a lot of back cuts, a lot of movement.
And without the ball, yeah.
They use Asia so well as like the center kind of
Yeah.
piece that controls the middle of the floor. But, I don't know. The first thing I thought I was just going to come on here and I am going to rip the Liberty a little bit. But the first thing that I came away was like, damn, those Aces, that was so impressive.
Yeah.
Down 2 rotation pieces, they come out, they just like muck up the game for like just the whole game, just turn into this defensive struggle. And they Warriors did a bit. They were down like 10 in the first, they were down 12 in the third, and they just hung around, and then
that
boom,
crazy run.
struck at the end.
Yep.
That's like a very Warriors thing to do.
Very Warriors. Third quarter Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just looked more determined, man.
Yeah.
All right.
A few stats here. So, yeah, Libs shot 32% from 3 in the finals.
Okay.
Stewart, who averages 23 points a game, had 16 points a game in this. Her 38% effective field goal percentage in the playoffs was the lowest of any 10-game stretch of her entire career.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. When I look at this, the Aces star, the Aces MVP came to play. And I feel like Stewie just, I don't know, she looked off kind of all playoffs except for one little game there. But she really didn't look ready to play, to impose her will, the way that Asia did.
Yeah.
People shot in this playoffs. People who Asia Wilson was guarding shot 30%.
Yeah.
It's just
Not
absurd.
good. Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know. I feel like Sabrina and she did not have a good series either.
Nope.
And I don't know. There was one moment I think I texted you guys. I was like, like she was like just so focused around the outside of the perimeter the whole series. I feel like I didn't see much of her trying to like break it down, like and go to the hoop.
Sabrina,
and like
that is.
yeah, Sabrina.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know, and Brianna was just being guarded by like Jackie Young and all these small guys. They put Asia on Jonquel for most of the game.
Yeah.
And it's shocking to me that she couldn't, like, they're not just like, she's on a smaller
Yeah.
woman. Like, get her the ball and let her go to work.
Yeah.
But she couldn't shoot. She couldn't make moves. I don't
She
know. It
was
was very disappointing.
Yeah, she was a little bit of a shell of herself for sure. She got some good looks sometimes, and like, just some of them just weren't falling, and then I think that just like led her to like second guess herself more than usual.
There would be some times when she would just hop up and take a weird little mid range, and she just didn't wait.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of
like,
rush
you
shots
have
from the
time.
library.
Like you don't have to take a shot 4 seconds in to the shot clock and just rush it. And also you got the height too. Like I know I know from playing street ball that if I slow down and
A
I have
resident
a
street baller.
shorter defender on me, then that it's a pretty good
can
chance
shoot
I'll
over
make
them,
that
yeah.
shot. Like,
Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure, so I understand, but
Yeah.
you got to be ready to play on that stage. Man.
And it's just, the crowd was hype. Like, that's a very good crowd there. That's
Oh,
better
yeah.
than a Nets crowd, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Like 150%
Sure.
better.
Yeah.
It's
they
like,
they were playing for something unlike the Nets. Uh-oh.
So that was
Get
too
to the
impressive.
Nets later today.
The Renaissance.
the Renaissance.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, so I think that's just a huge disappointment because I think they were the more talented team,
Yeah.
and they got mucked up. They didn't have that it, like, and I don't know whether it was, a matter of gelling or not, because I think the team gelled pretty well, but I just don't think they were ready to meet that level of intensity.
Yeah,
know,
I think that's what it was. I think the Aces were just able to play their game more easily, and the Liberty kept getting away from their game.
They imposed their will, and the Liberty just couldn't really fight back.
Yeah, and every time they did, the Aces came right back. So
All right. Last thing
here we go.
for this, Sydney Colson, who came off the bench, she had a very interesting stat line. She shot 100%,
Ooh,
1 of 1.
1 of 1 from
She had
the
5 fouls
Okay.
and 1 assist. She was a plus 17 in the game.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
What do you do with that?
I don't know. I don't know what you make of that.
All right. What's next?
We're getting right to the nitty-gritty, I suppose.
Let's get down to it. Let's get down. Let's get up.
Let's get around.
Let's get around.
Let's get around. All right, we're going over and unders. I mean, shit. This was tough. I mean,
It was tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of trouble.
I had a lot of trouble. A lot of going back and forth, switching my opinions, my hot takes, getting cold and lukewarm by the minute. But, I mean, how do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want one person to give, like, all their locks?
Let's do difficult first.
You want to do difficult first?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
let's get difficult.
You want to do over or unders first?
It's gonna take some time. Let's let EB go first.
You want my difficults first?
Just one difficult.
One
Give us
difficult.
one difficult. We'll switch off.
My one difficult I have in the East, I have the Hawks, the Nancy Drew murder mystery.
All right. So we got Atlanta at a 42 and a half.
Yep.
You went over.
I went over.
Yeah, I went over as
I went
well.
over. I also went over.
Okay.
But they
Wrong
were on
drinks.
they were my backup difficult.
Okay.
One of my backup difficults.
Backups.
Fair.
Okay. Where do you want to start, Danny? You got any thoughts? Or?
I don't have too much thoughts. I think this is a solid team. I think it's really tough with some of these East teams, like towards the middle of the pack.
For sure.
But I don't know exactly how good they are going to be, but I could see this team getting much better at the deadline, and that's what led me to go over.
For sure. I think that could totally happen too. I also kind of liked their continuity and the fact that they have been in playoff games before. They've had good regular seasons. Like, these are the last 3 years of their 41 wins last year, 43 wins the year before. Year before that, 41 wins, but it was a shortened season. It averaged about 46.
Yeah.
So like,
That's when they were the 5.
I feel
right?
like
4
they're,
seed.
they went just under this mark last year. I feel like with Quinn Snyder getting the reins from the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't really like they need someone to take a jump to get into like sort of the next level, but I really do kind of feel like they have like I don't know, I looking like at the Pacers and the Magic and the Bulls and the
We'll get
Raptors,
to
like
it.
I feel like they are just a
much better place.
I feel better about them for some reason.
Yeah, me too.
They got here's their starters. They got Trey, Murray, Hunter, Bay, Capella, and then the back off the bench they got Mills, Bogdan, Griffin, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu. I don't know. Jalen Johnson's been jamming some balls and
Oh yeah,
in preseason.
preseason.
I like Okongwu, so I like their big depth and John Collins hasn't. They moved on from him. I'm not sure how much they're really going to miss him.
Yep.
So
it could be one of those addition by subtraction type of moves.
And Bay,
He was pretty good.
Sadiq shot 40% from 5 attempts. Like John Collins shot 29%. Griffin shot 39%, and Jalen Johnson's at 28%. So it's about the same. So I just feel like it's kind of low. Like if this was at like 40, maybe like 44.5, I would be taking the under.
Yeah, I might be going under.
But I like 42.5. Yeah, it's about. I think they can be a little bit over 500. So
yeah, I agree. Let's see where I have the Hawks. Yeah, I have them exactly at 42 at 500. So took that over. Any more thoughts, Ben? EB?
No, I pretty much agree with you guys. I think it's if somebody takes a leap, but I put them over because I like their playoff medal. I like Quinn Snyder's coaching. It's like if they can respond to Quinn Snyder's coaching, which people say Trey is a selfish player, and I can that's true, I suppose. But I do feel like he lifts his team up a little.
For sure. Yeah. I just think like the problem is that he doesn't do enough of the little things for being just like a defensive liability like in a big one.
True.
And he's a little stuck in his ways, but I just I don't know. I think they'll be the best of those East Pack, and I think they're gonna be around that 7-8 seed again, like always.
Yep. Greatest play-in team in the NBA's history.
Hey, the Timberwolves have something to say about that.
They beat last year's Heat. How could it beat the Heat if they beat them? The Timberwolves are going to have some... We'll see with these T-Wolves. They could dethrone the Atlanta Hawks. All right, Chuck, you're difficult?
You want me to go? Okay.
For the overs? Yeah, me and Ben agreed on the Hawks.
Overs. All right. My difficult over...
Mm-hmm.
My first one is the Orlando Magic.
Whoa. The Orlando Magic.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's just wrong.
Of course.
Got lucky on that one.
Okay. Right. So, yeah, they were... It's at 37.5. That's the number here. Yep. They finished last year at 34 and 48. They started 5-20.
Yeah,
right?
Really bad.
They were, but if you get rid of that first month and a half there, they were 29 and 28, one game over 500. And unlike some of the other teams that we're gonna talk about here, I have a feeling, I just have a suspicion.
Okay.
I feel like they have a provable skill. Like after those first 25 games, they were the 6th best defense in the entire league.
Oh, interesting.
Over the course. So I would expect, and I love my FIBA guys. I always love the guys who play FIBA. That's Paolo, That's Franz. Both of the guys who need to take a step up. And I feel like playing, especially like Paolo, but playing in those kind of environments, they both played in big games, I feel like is just beneficial. So, and Franz is on his 3rd year, so I'd expect him to take a big leap. And he was awesome in FIBA.
Yeah,
He
was.
So, I think, there is some shooting problems, right? Like they were 26th in offense last year. But I feel like a little leap from Franz and Paulo, and some of this stuff can be sorted out. And I just think they have a lot of good players. Like, here's a starting lineup: says Fultz, Harris, Wagner, Bencaro, Wendell Carter. Bench: Cole Anthony, Suggs, Ingles, Anthony Black, Isaac, Mo Wagner.
Still there.
I feel like, they're a little young, but I don't know. I just like that provable skill, like the fact that they were close to being a top 5 defense. Yeah, and I feel like it's completely replicatable. So
they got rid of what they got rid of? They got rid of Bobo and Mobang. What's his name? Mobamba.
Mobamba.
Okay, I forget. Of course, one of the greatest songs.
And Bobo. No, I think it was Bobo.
Yeah, and Bobo. They're gone, so there's no muddying up Wendell's minutes anymore. Yeah.
I guess like the big question is like, where does Suggs and these
the guards are still
the guards muddy. Are a little messy, but you know what? I think
they'll figure it out.
Fultz is a proven point guard. So.
I like Fultz as the starter. I like Cole as a little scorer off the bench. New York guy. I think I don't know. His dad played for the Knicks. Cole Anthony.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I had them on the under, but I guess we'll get to that a little more later.
Wait, they were on your under?
Yeah.
Are they on your list?
No, they're not on my list. I did debate, though.
What do you guys think?
For the Magic?
I at first, these were one of the teams that I had going over.
Gotcha.
And I think I flip-flopped it.
Yeah, I had them going under at first, too, but then, I don't know, I just... Looking over some of the little things, the little stats, maybe kind of like them than some of the other teams around there.
I do like them. They're young and athletic.
I have them over as well.
2-way players. You have them over as well?
Ben's got an over.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a second team for my difficult for overs. I could just breeze through. I had the Nuggets. I could see the Nuggets.
Okay, so you had a backup?
Yeah, my backup difficult over was the Denver Nuggets. I mean, they're obviously the favorite until they lose, I think. But they're the defending champs. I could see them kind of just like taking it easy on the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think some of this like Jokic nonchalant stuff, as much as I love it, it's like there's something about
we're
it.
getting
like
close to the regular season.
Little scary.
Yeah,
like he's like someone asked him
so uninterested
if it was right now. The funnest summer ever, and he's just like, no, we had to play an extra 2.5 months.
Okay, but what kind of a question is that? Was that the funnest summer of your life? What about when Jokic met his first love? Did you ever think about that?
I think
they took a carriage ride together through the fields of Serbia.
I would think
Sombor.
Like, okay, yeah, I do think it's a dumb question, but I also think that
I agree.
It
would
be.
Though,
I mean, I wish he just would stop. I don't wish he would stop doing anything, but it just makes me like a little. I mean, I guess nonchalant is just his thing, but I feel like at some point it would, he's got to turn the jets on, and he probably will. So
he definitely will.
But like, it feels like maybe it's because they won the chip. Like, there's just a little more extra Jokic content out there now, and now we're hearing extra kind of.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes okay, I don't want to use the phrase postpartum depression, but sometimes you get something you've been striving for your whole life, and then you just feel empty afterwards.
Yep. Yes, of course.
Jude was at practice the other day scouting horses. Like he likes
I'm
horses more.
Maybe he's a little messed up after winning the championship.
Yeah.
I think he's probably more just a little messed up because he had to play the extra months and he didn't get to go home.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, So
yeah, I could see them kind of taking it easy, being a little nonchalant in the regular season, and maybe not getting. I mean, I still have them getting the over.
Yeah.
But I could see a scenario where they're under. I think it's 52.5 for them.
52.5. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
especially because the West is so
that was my
crazy.
B. Yeah, it's the West is so great. Exactly.
I also took the over.
Yeah.
I did have them at an under at one point, but I think the over is the best call.
Yeah.
Like, they are a team that has the ability to show nonchalantness.
Yeah.
Like, they were pretty lackadaisical down the stretch last year. They were, like, 11-12 to finish the season.
Yeah.
And at other points in their time period, they've gotten really lazy on defense and not been so committed on that side. So I think it is something to think about, but I feel like there's also the other side where it's we just got this chip and we have a chip on our shoulder. We're the fucking best. So
we're still not being talked about enough.
So I feel like
that's very possible.
At least So
I think Jokic, he's not the only person on the team. He's the leader of the team.
Yeah,
obviously a sort of reluctant leader, but I do feel like he wants the team to win. He just might not be the hype guy.
No.
Oh, no, of course.
He doesn't seem to even really like the attention.
The No Shots Podcast is brought to you by Blurds.com.
No, I have teams. I just did...
You did East and West.
I did East and West.
Yeah.
Three different teams. But I do have a difficult under.
Okay. Then give us your difficult, and make sure we say what the over-under is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the over-under is 44.5.
Okay.
The New Orleans Pelicans are my difficult mystery under. For obvious reasons, Zion's injuries, Zion's availability, the toughness of the West.
Okay.
Just all that kind of mystery stuff that surrounds that team. So,
interesting.
What do you guys think?
I mean, they're on my list, but they're not for difficult unders. So I'll get to it a little later.
I am under, and until Zion proves that he can play more than... Let's see here. I wrote this down. I definitely wrote this down. Okay. They're 61-74 over the last 2 years without Zion. In Zion's career, he's played in 35% of all possible games. So until he can play like 60 games in a season, I'm just gonna take the under.
Yeah,
just every time.
Yep.
But I did read this. This is a fun stat. So I think I read this on Twitter. I think it was a Dan Devine quote. He's like a podcaster.
Shout out Dan Devine.
Yep. So before last season, Jokic, Murray, and MPJ and Aaron Gordon they had only played 117 minutes together, and they were plus 46.
Oh.
So they were awesome. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Zion, Brandon Ingram, and CJ McCollum have been plus 60 in, I think it's only like 100, I think, I didn't write down the amount of time. In similar amount of minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not many minutes. Plus 60.
Plus 60.
So they have, and they were in first for a while there.
Yep, they had a hot
early
start in
last
the beginning of the
season.
season.
Yeah, they had a hot start.
Just can't trust it.
Nope.
No. That's why it's a difficult under for me.
That's fair.
Yeah, because they could.
There's always a chance.
They could.
There's a chance. But the likelihood is unlikely. Do not bet the over.
Okay.
No shots advice.
No shots advice. Don't go with the over.
Dear No Shots Pod.
Next, I guess I'll go next. My difficult under. I do have two here. I'm just gonna pick one right now. Guess I was indecisive earlier. I'm gonna go with everyone's favorite Sacramento Kings, the Beam Team. It's a difficult under. Yeah, it's my difficult under. Right? That's what I wrote. Right? Mm-hmm. Surely. Yep.
I also had them under actually.
I wanted to go over so bad.
And the number, 44.5.
Number is 44.5, which a lot of teams in the West are around that number.
Yeah, there's like 9 teams
in
that range.
In that range. So, that's one of the main reasons why I'm going under here. I had them over at first because I was just thinking about it. I was like, I don't trust any of these teams. At the end of the day, I feel like De'Aaron Fox is just going to just score, be one of the elite scorers, especially in the fourth quarter. I think Malik Monk is going to have another good year. Sabonis. That being said, a lot of times with these over-unders, you're kind of not even predicting injuries. You're just kind of just assuming, like you're guessing injuries. And they were just like a pillar of health last year, which I would be surprised if that happens again. So that's why eventually I'm going under. I did flip-flop back and forth, but I'm taking the under on the Sacramento Kings at 44.5. I have them at 42 wins, right at 500.
I also took the under.
Okay.
I guess we're all in agreement.
We're all on the same page here.
Yeah, I don't know. They were first in offense last year.
Yep.
The 25th in non-garbage time defensive rating after allowing 117.3 points per possession. So that's not very good.
Jesus Christ.
And in half-court settings, Sacramento, they allowed the third most points per 100 plays. So, I don't know. And I just don't see a lot of ways for improvement. And I feel like everyone else around them kind of went through a hellstorm last year.
Yep.
And so, yeah, even though I won $600 on them last year, I am a little sad to say the under.
Yep.
But I don't really believe in these teams that, like, I like defense. I like the teams that play defense.
Yeah.
And this team doesn't play defense. So if you lose, and it's not like, so if they do get a couple more injuries, like, I just don't see where, if the offense falls off, it was like, one of the best offenses of all time last year, which is ridiculous, but like, they're not going to be able to stop anybody. So when you lose your fastball, like, I just don't like a team that to be consistent when they have like that level of defensive effort. Like, you got to get that stuff up. I mean, just look at what happened to the Mavs last year when their defense fell apart. Like, they went from making Western Conference Finals to not being in the playoffs altogether, and a top 10 pick. So
tanking to keep that pick away from my Knicks.
I think I would pick a slight under, but I think they'll be in the mix. But
they'll be in the mix. I still have them in the mix for sure.
That's kind of where
I'm at too. Yeah.
Got any Kings thought, Ben? Thoughts?
You guys said it all. What's next?
Okay, Chuck's difficult under.
My difficult under. All right.
This
is not going to be popular. It's not popular with everyone here. But my difficult under is the Oklahoma City Thunder at 44.5.
Ooh,
not the Oklahoma City Thover.
It's just wrong.
It's right. Sorry. Okay. They went 40-42 last year.
Yeah.
So we're asking for 5 more games. They did all this in a season which Golden State was dreadful on the road. Lakers started horribly.
Yep.
Dallas fell apart.
Yep.
Pels fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
T-Wolves didn't have their whole team.
Yep.
Suns started 20-22.
Yep. They were injury prone at the beginning of the season, and then it got KD.
Right. I don't know. They allowed 114.5 points per possessions, which is like, and they gave up the 10th highest frequency of wide open 3-point attempts.
Yeah. I'm so interested. Well, now they have Chet, Charles. Chet is back.
I know. Which is Chet, going to help their defense a little bit.
Please.
But I think like this is a team that I feel like they're not just, I don't know. This is how I feel like it feels kind of magic-y to me, in which I feel like they might be better, but I'm not sure their record will be that much better.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just think like 45 games for a team that snuck into the play-in game. They're not sneaking up on anyone this year.
Yep.
And they love to run, but they're not. They don't have a lot of. Their shooting is not great. Yeah, like I said, they're third in pace. And weirdly enough, I feel like even with Shea, they were 29th in the league in clutch game offense last year.
Really?
Yeah, so not good closing out games. And I don't really love their shooting yet. Like we'll see what Chet can shoot, but Giddey's 32%, Dort's 33, Jalen Williams is 35, and Shea is 34. That's their starting lineup.
Yeah.
You know, some of the other guys off the bench who are not as dynamic shoot well, but I think it's asking a lot for Chet to like ground this team defensively, and I just feel like they're not going to sneak up on as many people. Like Shea's out there now, as a guy, and he's rated like really high above some guys. So I think people are going to kind of go after this team, and I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they finish like 500. That's kind of like where I see them at, which is 44, and they got to win 45 games. I don't.
It's a tall tale.
I'm not a believer.
I am interested because last year who was their starting center? Was it Muscala?
Dude,
it was somewhere they didn't have a center last year. So
they didn't do it.
They play like this.
Jalen Williams, other Jalen Williams.
The other Jalen Williams. They play like this frantic defense, which was like close everything out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't allow any threes. I wonder how it's gonna be with Chet now, with like a true-ish center.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. That being said, I took the under on them as well. I agree with you.
I had the over for them, but honestly, rethinking because
don't let us sway your opinion.
I wasn't concentrating.
Don't let us.
It was the number that I didn't realize how high 44.5 is.
You got to go 45 and 37.
Yeah,
I do think it's possible. I think it's possible. You know, if some other team has a collapse that we don't see coming, or injuries, or whatever.
Of course.
I do. I just think it's a lot.
But I might change my answer.
I think it's just a lot to put on a 1 second or rookie essentially, which Chet is.
Oh yeah.
So I really want because I love the team, but I just don't. I don't think teams progress like that. Like there's still some giddy fit issues, and there's some stuff they got to figure out, and so. Great potential, and I think they'll fight for a playoff spot, but I just don't see them being as consistent as some of the other teams.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, now moving on to the wild card.
Done with difficult. Let's do wild cards.
Wild cards.
Wild cards. You want to go back to overs?
Yeah, let's do overs and then we'll do unders.
Okay. Wild card over. Who wants to go first?
Ben, have you been going first?
I have a wild card. Okay, so I have a wild card over and a wild card just right.
Okay.
Are you picking the even?
What? What is that?
It's just right.
If the Portland Trailblazers are at 27.5, you pick them to win 27.5.
No, that is actually my pick for the Brooklyn Nets. Just right at 37.5.
Okay.
I think they're going to win 37.5 games.
Okay.
So who's your wild card over?
Okay, my surprise over is the T-Wolves. Over 44.5.
Whoa.
I know, yeah. I know.
Spicy pick from Ben.
But, listen, they got the guys. The guys just got to work together. They can be strong. They can shoot the ball.
Yep.
They can whack the ball. They can pass. They can block, steal, defend. Those guys can play basketball.
There are some real B-ballers down there
on that
in Minnesota.
Team, man. Yeah, and I don't know why I have a soft spot in my heart for him.
Yep.
I want Kyle Anderson to be happy.
We didn't have a podcast last year, but Engineer Ben was the highest on this post.
Did you pick them to fifth? Finish?
Ben had them winning 54 games last year.
Yeah, I did.
Instead, they're one of the top teams. The Gobert trade was genius. They didn't give up any of their main nucleus.
I didn't say it was genius.
You did. You said they didn't give up anything.
All right.
So is this the second year in a row where Ben is trying to convince us on these T-Wolves?
And you know what? I'm still sticking by it.
Sticking by your guns. I like it.
Some of their hardest playoff struggle.
This is true.
Fight.
Gave them their most adversity.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Ben's not going to be alone.
Uh-oh.
Because I am also on the over.
On the over.
Ow!
That is right.
T-Wolf Nation, baby.
Listen,
Okay, what you got on the
I
T-Wolves?
just think that they can. This is just going to be it should be a really awesome defensive team. I
Yeah.
love my FIBA guys. Ant's coming back from FIBA. He played a lead role. I feel like there's a little leap in there.
Yep.
They didn't have... Karl Towns only played 29 games last year, so we
Yep.
don't know how this works. And even though I wasn't high on it last year, and I'm still questioning the whole idea of it, like...
Forward cap.
He can't guard... He's not going to be able to guard wings and not going to be able to guard fours, but like he can shoot, and he only shot like 36% last year, so he can play better. And I think it's probably good for him that Ant's kind of becoming more of the face of the team. And I love the Ant Jaden McDaniels combination, and you got Gobert back there. I just feel like I like McLaughlin off the bench. And I love my guy Slow-Mo and Naz Reid. I'm a huge Naz fan.
I do like Nas.
Yeah. Me too.
So, they were, 8th in defensive efficiency last year?
Pretty good.
7th in half court. So, they were only 14 and 13 with those guys, with all their guys together last year. But, and the offensive rating was 106.7 with those three guys on the floor, which Ant, Karl, and Gobert, which would be like rated the 29th offense. So this isn't a completely irrational confidence pick, but
okay.
I don't know. I can't help myself anymore.
Fair enough. I took them as the under. I just...
Completely understandable.
I think I have them at 42 wins, so they're at 44 and a half. I don't think there was any rhyme or reason why I took them as the under. I just don't have faith. They were almost a difficult pick for me because I could see them getting the over. I could see them.
Yeah.
We didn't see the Gobert and Cat experiment much last year.
I just feel like they should. Like Gobert has always anchored really good, just regular season basketball teams.
Yeah, yes.
And I feel like
You gotta give the man credit for that.
oh my God, what am I saying here? I just feel like I don't know. This might, Jesus Christ. I just feel like I think they're gonna have a good season. I like the vibes. I like the vibes.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta punch it out.
Yep.
All right. What's next?
My wild card is the Brooklyn Nets. I am taking the over. I have a feeling you guys disagree with me.
No, I have the Renaissance.
But you have them just right.
Well, I did have them just right.
I'm saying Renaissance is taking over.
Oh, shit. Leonardo da Vinci's coming out.
Little Da Vinci coming out, baby. There you go. I like this team. They're fun, young, athletic. I'm obviously all in on the Renaissance. I think he's gonna have a good year. But Mikal Bridges, they weren't great post the KD trade, but I just like them better than some of these other East teams that they're like bunched in and around.
Yeah, they have a core of players that I trust,
Yeah, I like.
Talking about
I trust Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson.
I mean,
and
Ben
Ben Simmons.
And, I have faith in him. If we don't have faith in him, he'll never,
Yeah, who can we have faith in if not
Oh
him?
my
If not
God, you
Simmons.
guys, you New Yorkers.
Oh,
Brooklyn,
you're the one who lives in Brooklyn.
I
bro.
got the under. I live in Queens.
Oh, Ridgewood.
But yeah, I mean, I just like them. Jacques Vaughn's gonna get the 4 year, and I think they're just gonna make
It's my coach
something
of the
out
year
of it.
prediction right there.
Oh,
And now it is.
I have the under.
okay.
All right.
And they were 11 and 15 with Mikal Bridges last year.
Yeah, they weren't good.
That's 34 wins over an 82 game season.
Yep.
They were 23rd in offensive efficiency. And they're
Not good.
still trying to start Ben Simmons and Nick Claxton, two non-shooters. It just cannot go well.
Yep. But it's going to.
No,
It's
not.
going to.
Well, that's why I said just right,
So
because you're
out.
over, you're under, and I'm just
Just
right.
right.
So out.
Goldilocks, baby.
No,
Here we
I
go.
don't.
They're going to be great
Yeah.
defensively, man. I'm excited to see how good
Okay,
they're going to be defensively.
Sure, but they can't.
They can't score.
With all their best defenders out there, they can't score.
Nope. But
Yeah.
they're going to
And
figure
I'm not
out
sure they
ways
can.
to win.
I'm not sure they can rebound either.
Is this team beating the Heat in a play-in game?
No way. 29.
Maybe.
They were-
we
about
it,
won't
though.
know.
There were
As
seven.
they're currently
There were
stopping Ben.
Like they were 17th in defense over that Mikal Bridges span and 29th in rebounding. Ben Simmons isn't a good rebounder,
Pretty
Okay, but
rough.
he just had to move. He didn't want to leave Phoenix.
and neither is Nick Claxton.
Not the best rebounders. I mean, listen, they have some flaws. What's their over-under? Did we even discuss that? It's 37 and a half.
37 and a half.
37 and a half.
I'd
That's my
like them to
just
get
right.
38 at minimum. I have them at 40 games. So I have them in the plan.
I think
I just
it's
have
a
faith in
close
this team.
it's a close one, but I'm going just under. Like
I'm
I
going
want, I'm
just over
I think
Going
it's like
just right.
35.
35.
All right, I like it.
like
What's
it.
left?
My wild card over is, and maybe it's not so wild, but it's the 76ers.
Whoa.
I'm going over.
Going
Wins
over.
by year. 54, 51, 48, 43, which I think is the lockout season. Yeah, it was a shorter 72 game season. They came out at 47 and a half that year if you extend it. 51, 52 back to 27-18. So, they
A lot of
have
wins.
they have never lost less than 47 and a half games, and that's with the whole Simmons shenanigans going on. That's with Embiid playing. These are, I can't believe
Being
Embiid
injury
has stayed
prone.
this healthy, but look, he's played 66 games last year before 68, 51, 51, 64, 63. So this is a good regular
bad.
season team. Whatever controversy is going on, I don't think it's going to matter to Embiid. I just think they're going to win. They'll collapse in the playoffs like they always do, but I think this number is just too low. It's 47 and a half. I think they can hit at least 48 and be like the 5 seed.
Yeah, I'm over on them as well. By the
You're
way.
over on them. That's
Yeah.
interesting. All right, going right into my underwild card, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't care how good they've been. This team is, everyone's upset at each other. Harden wants out. How many games did they win last year?
They won 54 games.
54 games, and that's with the MVP, lead leader in scorer, and the lead leader in assist. That's not going to happen. Harden's playing his way out. He doesn't want to be there. How poorly did he play when he wanted out of Houston and Brooklyn? I don't think he's just going to show up and lead the league in assists
Nick
again.
Nurse is no nonsense. Like I think
Nick Nurse,
that guy,
do like Nick Nurse.
If Harden's gonna like loaf around out there, like
He's
like,
he'll probably
they're
just
just
sit
gonna
him.
sit his ass down.
Okay, sit him, and then you got MVP Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's happy out there. I'm not all in on this.
I don't think he's
repeat
happy, but I just think
year.
I think it's proven that the guy when he's on the team, they're gonna win more than 48 games.
More than 40 games. Here's the thing, though. They lost some role players. I have no idea what their bench is looking like. Do you have that there?
I do not. I didn't write it down for this one.
Because it doesn't matter. Because they're going to be bad.
They're
Well,
not gonna be bad.
I don't think
Gonna
they'll
be
be bad.
bad.
Not
They
gonna
have
be bad.
Maxey.
They
They
have-
have.
They have Maxey, which I think will actually help things if he's running up and down because
Yeah.
he's a speed player. Harden's this like
I love Maxi.
Apparently, Oubre
But you're
is a
axing a
Sixer
lot.
now.
You're laxing a lot of Maxi.
They got Mo Bamba.
They got Oubre. They got Jesus
No, I
Christ.
think Maxey's good though.
I think
He's
he's
really
great.
good.
I think he's gonna be great next year. I don't think you're asking a lot from him this year, and I just don't have him coming out to be like this great point guard this year. Just not. I actually am a huge fan of Maxi. I think he'll have a good season. I think he'll average 20 plus, whatever, like 4 or 5 assists.
I think honestly I think Maxey and Melton starting I like better than Harden because then you have at least one good defender out there at your guard position, whereas Harden and Maxey can get torched.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think James Harden is such a he may be a positive on offense, but I think he's a complete negative on defense. And I think they'll get better. So starting lineup without James Harden would be Maxey, Melton, Tobias, PJ Tucker, Joel Embiid, and the bench is Pat Beverly, Kelly Oubre, Paul Reed. They still got Danny Green, Kork Maz, Mo Bamba. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think they have an MVP on their team. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win 48 games.
More than 48 games?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 49, 48. That's
I don't have faith. I think this team is going to be very different at the deadline, and not for good reasons. I could see this team just collapsing. That's why they're on my wild card for the unders.
I don't know if they get Terrence Mann in the Harden trade.
I think they're too good to collapse.
What'd you just say about Terrence Mann? You think he's moving the needle for them?
No, if they get him, yeah, sure.
I think he's
another solid guy.
I just
They
they
won't
need
even
just
give
role
him up.
player.
Um,
Just need role players.
As a role player, yeah.
Listen, they're my wild card. And that's why they're my wild card. I understand they're your wild card for over. I just don't care anymore about the Sixers team. They're going to blow it up, and B's going to be a Nick at the deadline, baby.
Now
that's
the
not why-
truth comes
now
out.
the truth comes
Now it
out.
comes
No,
out.
that's actually not true. The Philly's never going to trade Embiid to the Knicks. Let's be real.
Daryl Morey is a
Yeah,
liar.
they could. Daryl Morey.
Can we get a
What?
soundboard of that?
That should have been on the soundboard.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
I just think the whole team's in flux. I don't like their depth. I don't really know much about their depth. I just don't like it. I like Nick Nurse. I like some of their I love Maxey. I love some of their players. I also just don't think Embiid's going to be healthy this year. And that's a wild thing to predict, but sometimes you have to predict things when you're making the tough over and unders.
All right.
Making the tough over.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Charles is under wild
My
card.
wild under is Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we all know the famous 20-5 record they have without Ja, which is coincidentally the same amount of games that Ja is missing this year.
What? No way. Exactly 25.
25. Just to throw some steam up that they went 11-10 without Morant last year, and they're gonna be missing Clark. I feel like Marcus is good, but I don't know. I just can't. I don't think this is sustainable. This whole record thing without Ja. Like, he's such a good player, and like I don't know, ESPN rank had him in their like 30s. Like I don't understand these rankings. Like he's a top 15 guy. I don't care if he's suspended for 25 games.
Yeah,
they had him like
rankings.
in the 30s.
Those rankings are brutal.
Did you see there was like the GMs did like their little player awards, and they voted Morant the most athletic player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
He's
Why not?
Yeah, one of them.
Who else am I gonna put? Like
top
Giannis?
5.
I guess I'll put Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis.
The guy can.
I guess
Simmons.
I just think of him as because he's small, but he is extremely athletic. Yeah.
Well, that's what's. Small guys always get better reps,
Yeah.
reputations when they're more
That's true.
athletic
Yes, you
because
have to.
they have to. But yeah, he can jump like nobody's business. As
Yeah.
part of the problem is he gets injured. That's which comes to the next part. He's going to come back. They're going to have to work this out with Smart. It's going to take some time.
Yep.
And then there's always the possibility that he just flies at some big in the middle of the regular season recklessly and turns an ankle or hurts his wrist.
Yep.
And he's going to be out. So, he's a highly injurable player. So he's already missing 25 games that aren't from injury. So I just think, they're going to have to get Steven Adams back there. But I don't know. I don't like the depth.
a year older.
And, they're starting Marcus, Bain, Conchar, JJJ, and Steven Adams. And in the back, they have Roddy, Kennard, Aldama, Tillman, Rose. I just don't think this...
Yeah, it's not enough.
I don't think this is they're always tough in the regular season. They won a lot of games.
Yeah, they could just be great in the regular season.
This kind of feels like the year
they're not great.
They're
in the
not
regular
great.
season. I agree. I mean,
That's the
missing
vibe
Ja
I'm
for
getting.
25 games. They don't have great depth there. I mean, I have the under as well. I have them around around 42 games as well. I have a lot of West teams around 42 games.
I actually put them over.
It
it
depends
could
on the
happen.
believer. It could happen.
happen.
I wouldn't be super shocked if they just somehow work out in the first 25 games and then Ja comes back and they look like the best team all of a sudden. I wouldn't be shocked.
Give our locks, and you can just do a quick take, a sentence take about them.
Yeah, sure.
Ben, what are your locks?
Okay, well, this is I did not do this correctly, but I had well, this one was a joke. I have the Clippers locked for a 5 to 10 seed.
Okay.
And then I have the Raptors locked at 500. They're they're locked over 36.5. My prediction is that they will be at 500. I guess the Clippers, I have them locked for there's no fucking way to know. Which is not a lock at all, I realize. So that's it.
Interesting. Okay, we could go with my locks. My locks with the overs is New York Knicks basketball, baby. Go New York, go New York. I mean, I didn't even write anything here. I'm a Knicks fan. This is a biased take. I don't care. At me in the comments.
Oh, man.
Listen, we were good last year. I think we got better with DiVincenzo. I think there's going to be some weird tinkering with some of the bench and the lineup. But how many games did the Knicks win last year? Can you pull that up for me at EB?
Yeah, sure.
Take your time. But yeah, I just think they're going to be around the
47.
47 and
47,
35.
and their over under is 45.5. I have them right back around 47.
Yeah, I could see it.
I have them going over. That's my lock.
Do you think they'll be better than the Cavs?
Let's see, what did I put here?
The Cavs were 51 and 31.
The
by
Cavs
the way.
were a weird one because I flip flop back and forth with the over under.
Yeah,
They're at 50 and a half.
it's a
At
tough
one
one.
point, I had them winning like 52
Yeah,
games.
I went under.
Yeah, I eventually
know.
switched
It
it
was
to
very
under.
confusing.
I have the Cavs being one game better than the Knicks.
All right,
So,
who's
yeah.
your lock under?
My lock under is I have two teams.
right.
I'm going to pick one.
Quick
They
shots.
both start with the letter P.
The Pelicans and the Pistons.
Two PPs. Pelicans and Pistons. The Pistons are locked. They're going under. Zion's going to be fucking hurt. I mean, what do you want? How many games have Zion and Ingram played together? They were difficult because of injury problems. Here's my thing. They're a lock because of the injury problems. Forget this difficult stuff. They're locks. They're not winning anything. CJ McCollum's your point guard? You got me kidding me. actually like McCollum. That's good. In New Orleans. But yeah, they're my lock. And the Pistons, I mean, I think they'll be better than last year. That doesn't mean much. They won 17 games last year.
You're not going to believe this.
Yeah, they're under. That's it. That's all I got. Those are my locks.
Already. All right.
Chuck's locks.
Ooh, Chuck's
My locks. I will be joining Danny on the New York Knicks over.
Oh! Go New York, go New York, go.
Yeah, it's the same goddamn team.
It's the same goddamn
And unless
team.
it's like Julius Randle has another little, he has to be put in timeout.
Oh, yeah.
Then that's the only thing I could come up with for them being worse.
Yeah.
My lock under is the Jazz. I just don't
Okay.
think they were really bad on defense last year. I've been talking about this whole defense thing. Like they stormed out to a huge,
Huge.
10-3 they started.
Yeah, beginning of the season.
And then they kind of fell apart. There were
Yeah.
some injuries. They traded away some guys. I think this is the year they actually tank. They go deep down into that fish tank and try to pull something up good.
So you had them under 35.5? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I had them over, but I
Yeah,
can
them
totally
over.
see the under as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting off to that hot start. I'm with you on the under. I think they're going to be kind of bottom feeders. I think they're going to be good bottom feeders, better than probably than the rest, but
Okay.
yeah.
Should we want to run through them all now?
Yeah, let's
All
run
right,
through the
time
rest.
to run through the rest here.
Let's do
just
it.
quickly.
Okay, so Celtics, over 54.5.
I have over.
I got them over. I have them around 56 wins, one of the top teams in the East.
Okay. Bucks, I have over 53.5.
I also have over.
I have over as well.
Also one of the top teams.
Cavs, I have under 50.5.
Wow, we all went under.
I went under as well.
I was really close to going over for them. I could see they got better. They got better role
It was
players.
a tough one for me too.
So I do like their
They might
team
be.
better.
I feel like
but
better team, worse record.
yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Exactly.
for sure. Okay, Sixers. I have over 47.5.
over.
Very controversial.
Under, I
know.
have them at
I went
45 wins. I still have them being a top 5 seed.
Yeah,
but
yeah, sure.
I'm taking that under.
Knicks. I
48's a lot.
Oh, sorry. Knicks. I have under 45.5.
I went over as we locked in.
Yep, locked in.
Okay.
Ben's insane.
Heat. 44.5 under for me.
That's an under for me.
This is my backup lock. I'm going over. They were the first seed 2 years ago. Jimmy
Yeah.
is pissed. The whole team's
They do.
pissed. Everyone's
Leaders.
doubting them right now.
Tyler Hero says he's
and
gonna
I am a
lead the league
Celtics
in
fan,
scoring.
so I know never doubt this team.
I don't doubt this team. There you go.
That's true. Okay, I have the Hawks 41.5 over.
Oh yeah.
I think
you're
it
right,
jumped to
you're right.
42, but
okay.
I'm still taking the over.
I'm still
think
still
they're at
going
43.
over. I like them. I have them at the 7th seed, I think.
Okay. The Pacers, I have 38.5 over.
38.5 over. I took the over originally. This is when I'm kind of changing my mind as the podcast goes. I'm not super convinced. I could see them getting 38 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like both their offense and the defense were rated in the 20s this last year.
Yeah.
And I cut out the part where Halliburton didn't play. So I don't think they're going to be too good. I went under. Their line also jumped to 39.5 today. So I'm under.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have them at 39 wins, so I would be under with the jump up.
The Nets at 37.5, I have just right.
I got the over. We went over that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I went under.
Yep.
Okay. The Bulls 37.5, I have under.
The Bulls were a tough one also. I went over by. I have them exactly at 38.
I went back and forth so many times on this one. I'm going under.
Oh, under.
I think they'll trade away some guys.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so Magic, I have 37.5 over.
you got them going over. I had them.
Although now I'm not so sure, but
I
yeah.
had them going over at first, and then I wasn't. I just. I don't know. I
As we
wasn't
talked
convinced.
about, I went with the over.
Yeah.
The Raptors, I have over 36.5.
I have them going under. This is going to be a team that I think is going to have a rough start, and then all of a sudden they're sellers and have a completely different team in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I'm banking on. Raptors, guys are getting moved. It's not going to be the same team this time next year.
Yeah, I got the. I took the over just because their starting five is actually kind of good. But
It is good.
But yeah, I don't
Will
know
they
this
stay there?
team and the Bulls. I just
Yeah.
they gave me a migraine.
Yeah,
picking.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
Next.
Next, Hornets 31.5 under for me.
That's an under for me as well.
I was over until I watched them, till Miles Bridges getting arrested again.
Bruh.
And I watched them play the Celtics in the preseason, and they were like down 67-31 in the first half, starters against starters. So I'm out.
Yeah.
Next.
I mean, yeah. Kai Jones also, like, what's going on with this team? They want to trade
Get
PJ.
out of here. And
they're bigger mess than the Sixers.
and what's his name? Just got named in like a civil suit. Their number 2 pick there,
Yeah, Brandon
Mr.
Miller?
Brandon
Oh,
Miller
really?
got. So
Yeah,
we're out.
That's
Get
not
out of
good-
here.
not a
Get
good
him
look.
out of here.
All right,
I don't care how much you love LaMelo Ball. We're going under.
I don't love Manamelo Ball.
Talking to
LaMelo
listeners.
Ball.
It's an anemone. The Pistons 27.5. I took over.
Took over. Listen, they're gonna be better having Cade play like 10 games last year.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be much better having an actual point guard. But it's the same thing. It's tough predicting injuries, but they have their best players are these 2 uber athletic guards. I'm taking the under. I'm not convinced they're gonna be healthy.
Yeah, I'm taking the under as well.
I have them being the
it's
worst team in the league.
It's like too many games for them to make up.
Pistons.
They lost. They won. It's 10. They have to win 11 more games than they did last year. I'm sorry. I'm out.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
All right. And
Even
the
with
Wizards
Cade.
at... Oh, sorry.
Even with Cade, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll see. The Wizards, I have over 23.5 for some reason.
I took the over as
I
well.
took the over. It's a little magic.
That's
Wizards
Alright,
magic.
nice.
Jump to the west.
We're all pretty good.
Going to the West.
Pretty much in agreement, except for a
West,
few
West.
spots. All right, I have the Nuggets over 52.5.
Over. They were my difficult picks.
Yep, I got over.
Yeah.
Okay, the Suns also over 52.5.
Yep. I went over as well. I have them being one of the best teams in the league at 58
I'm going
wins.
under.
Manage me loud.
Whoa.
I'm going under. I think they're
Oh.
just under.
Just
I just don't
under.
trust the injury history.
Fair enough.
All
Yeah.
three of those guys can get injured.
I just feel like the
Defense is going to be bad.
the defense is gonna be bad, but
Manage me
who's
loud.
gonna guard them? We'll
true.
see.
Yeah, good question. Okay, the Warriors at 47.5, I took under. They were
Ooh.
such a bad road team last year. I don't know. I don't trust them. They're getting a little old.
That is exactly why I took the over.
Me
Because
too.
they're not going to be that bad on the road. There's no way.
True.
Impossible.
Impossible. They were one of the worst road teams
Wiggins
of all time.
missed all those games last year. It started with the punch. There
Yep.
has to be better vibes this year.
You got
Plus,
Chris Paul in
you're not
there.
wrong.
Yeah, and
You're not
he's
wrong.
so like fun to get along
Yeah,
with.
he's going to be running the second unit.
No, he is. He is.
He's so
Just
approachable.
so affable. Oh, yeah. All right, next.
All right, next.
The Lakers, I took under 46.5.
Whoa.
I just think there's too many questions surrounding that team.
What are the questions?
If LeBron is going to just keel over and if
Fair
AD is
enough.
going
AD.
to get injured. And
For
like, I
some
like their
rea-
role players and whatever, but I just feel like the West is too difficult for them.
That's fair. I like their role players. I think they got better. They were really good at the end of the season once they made all those trades. I took the over.
Okay.
I also took the over. I think they'll just be able to withstand everything better.
Yeah.
They're very deep and they could make a trade. So
Yeah, I think they also could
I don't
make a
want to
trade.
take the over, but I'm going to take it.
Yeah, take it.
The LA Clippers, I just had a bunch of question marks.
Fair
Fair
enough.
enough.
I took the under by a
Took
couple
the
games.
under.
They're at 45 and a
on.
half.
Manage me loud.
And yeah, they're going to manage me loads. I have them like around
I'm not,
42 wins.
I'm not
43
getting
wins.
burned on that one. I'm
Yeah.
going under.
I'm going under.
Okay. The Grizzlies, I took over 45.5.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Talked
You were the
about
only
that.
one who took over. We
Yeah,
took
I
under.
don't know. I like
Under,
the smart
under.
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sure.
like the smart trade, but
Yeah,
just the
it
jaw
could
injury is going to be
backfire,
tough.
but-
I don't know. I kind
Yeah.
of now I'm rethinking it though.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Sacramento Kings 44.5. I said under.
Yeah, that was my difficult pick. I went back and forth.
It's a tough
I
one.
went under.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went under.
I have them at 42 wins.
Okay. The T Wolves, as we know, I said over 44.5.
Yeah, I'm a crazy person too, and I said over.
I am not sipping the T-Wolves Kool-Aid.
You're not sipping the tea.
I am not sipping the tea. I went under.
The Wolves Bane.
Wolves Pain.
Okay, the Pelicans, I put under 44.5.
I went under as well.
Under as well.
as previously
Yep,
discussed.
my lock.
The Thunder, I did put over 44.5, but I am rethinking that.
Fair enough. I went under. I have them at 41 wins.
That seems really high.
I went. Yeah, it is really
Yeah.
hard. They're overhyped. Under.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Mavs, I took under 43.5. That also may be a mistake.
Yeah, the Mavs also I went back and forth with. They were also like my difficult choice part B.
Yeah,
Tough,
they
tough,
were mine
tough
too.
team.
Yeah, I went under, but just by like a game and a half.
Yeah,
They're at 43 and a
I
half.
didn't like I picked over. I don't love it, but
Yep.
I'm just. I don't know. I gotta trust in Luka.
In Luka we trust.
when he's healthy, which maybe he's not. he's
Also-
already got some calf issue
As a Knicks fan, I'm rooting against them all year.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So the Jazz, I took over 35.5.
I went under.
This is my lock under. So
Okay. The Rockets, I went under 31.5. And I also, one day I would like to see a Raging Bull style movie about Dylan Brooks.
Shao boxing in the
just getting
tunnel.
kicked out of 5 minutes, just
Yep.
punching Daniel Tice in his poor.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor Thice.
Just black and white. He's
I also went under.
I went over. They don't have their pick. I think they're gonna play competitive basketball. How good they will be, probably not very good. But
yeah, try as
why
they
not?
might. I just think they have too many guys.
they have too many guys.
Oladipo is on the team.
Oladipo is on the team. But
It's-
they got Ime at the coach.
They do.
I like them getting.
It's-
They're at 31 and a half.
Yeah,
I like them getting like 34.
They need to win like 9 more games. I just don't think Dylan Brooks and
Van Fleet.
yeah. But
I mean, getting a point guard really helps.
True. Jabari should have a lot of it. I think they'll be closer to the. I feel like it's like 29.
Fair enough. I went over.
Okay, the Spurs I have over 28.5.
Oh.
Perhaps 4 inches over.
Oh, someone's buying into the Wemby hype.
He looks good so far.
He looks great.
Really?
I went under, though. I went just under. I think I have them at 27.
How much did they win last year? Do you know? I can check, actually.
Yeah.
I can.
No, I got it.
22 games.
Oh.
So
22 games.
So
They have to get
it's a lot.
7 more games.
I'm going the over. I watched last night. I watched the first half. The Spurs starters against the Warriors starters, except minus Draymond, and the Spurs were kicking their ass. It's preseason. It doesn't mean anything,
Preseason.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just too excited. I want to root for the over.
I
too.
wanted to give them over, and then there's just it turns out since for the last decade there's been 6 teams below 30 games. So I realized I was giving too many teams to get above 30 games.
Yeah.
So I had to put them back down.
Fair
Fair
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
And the Trailblazers, I put under 27.5.
I'm going under as well.
I think this is a figuring out year for them.
Yeah, this is a figure out year. This was like a difficult pick for me. I went over. I have them at 28 wins.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can see it.
All right.
I like their
All
depth.
right.
Nice.
Well, good job,
And
everyone.
that's all the
We did
teams.
it. We
Woo!
did all the
We
teams.
did run the over-unders. I agree with that.
I agree with that.
The No Shots Podcast is brought to you by blurbs.com.
Quick shots.
You want to do some quick shots?
Yeah, sure. Quick shots.
Okay. Well, it won't be too bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick shots. All right. These are season of hell candidates, non-76ers division. So these are teams with somewhat high expectations, but that could fall apart.
Okay.
All right. We've got non-76ers, right? Because that's just too obvious.
Yeah.
All right. We got Memphis Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
We got Miami Heat.
Okay.
We got Dallas Mavericks. We got Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm sorry, guys, but it's just the history. I think we have to put the Knicks on the list.
Ooh,
Who's-
history.
Who's going to have the season from hell? Who's most likely?
So we have the Cavs, Knicks,
Heat?
Grizzlies, Heat, Knicks, Mavs, Cavs.
I'm going to go Mavs on this one.
Going Mavericks.
I want to go Mavs, but they kind of had that season last year.
Yeah,
So
that's-
I think I'm leaning Grizzlies here.
Yeah, I'm going to also go with the Grizzlies here.
I think they'll be good, but
Okay.
I can
Alright.
see it.
All right, next one. All right, Portland versus Washington. It's a 7-game series. Who's going to win? And in how many games?
I don't even know who's on Washington now.
Washington, you got Jordan Poole,
Poole and Kuzma. Those are the two
Kuz-
stars.
Oh,
Tyus Jones,
Tyus
all their young
Jones.
players that they've had.
I do like Tyus Jones, actually.
I like Gafford too. He's a serviceable
Yeah.
center. He's all right.
Kispert.
Portland has 8 as well.
Avdia.
I'm going with
Yeah, I
Portland.
love-
You going with Portland?
I'm going Portland. They got
Scoot.
scoot to 8. Boom.
Ben loves some eight.
Yeah.
Ben loves some eight in it.
Yeah.
How
I'm
many
going-
games? How many
I'm going
games?
Washington.
In a 7-game series,
Yeah,
I think they'd win it in 5.
5.
Really? I'm going Washington in 7.
Washington
Listen,
in
give
7.
me Kuzma over Jeremy Grant.
Oh, forgot about Grant.
Yeah.
Give me Jordan Poole over, what are you naming, a rookie over there? Give me Jordan Poole. He's got a ring,
All right.
baby.
I think I got Portland in 6.
Ooh. I do
I'll
like
take Portland.
Portland's depth.
They got some
I think
wings.
they have a
I
lot
think
of-
Scoot can play some defense too.
Yeah,
He's a little small,
and
but-
no one's talking about Simons. in Portland.
Simons.
Simon's going to have a
Oh,
great
yeah.
year.
He's
Yeah.
He's
better,
gonna have a good
way
year.
better than Poole. Come
Yeah.
on, he's under control.
It's true.
All right, next one. All right, one of these 4 teams will sneak into the play-in. Which one? Wizards, Portland, Pistons, Spurs.
Well, we just trashed all these teams.
I know.
for like 10 minutes.
Wait, say it again. Wizards.
One of these
Wizards,
4
Pistons.
teams will sneak into the play-in. Wizards, Portland, Pistons, Spurs.
I mean,
It's got to be the Spurs or Portland for me.
yeah, I could see it Spurs and Portland to me, but the West is too tough. So I'm going back to my Wizards, baby. I'm all in. This
He's always all in on the Wizards.
Jones, Poole, Kuz, Gafford, Kispert, Adiab.
Yeah.
Johnny Davis
All right,
gonna have a
on-
bounce back
yeah,
season.
How many bangs will Abdia get in his NBA career?
I want to see Abdia get some like ball handling responsibilities more. I think he's a decent passer.
He's already pissed at Poole though. Did you see that?
Yeah,
He was like they were arguing. He was like standing and like. And Poole followed up like a 40-point game, going 1 for 15.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Pistons.
Okay.
I like it.
Pistons.
I like it.
Interesting.
Okay. Next one.
Any more?
All right. Stop me when you think one of the. You can say I'm out, or you can say no shot.
Oh.
Stop me when you think one of these teams has no shot to win the chip.
Okay.
All right. We got Nugs, Celtics, Bucks,
Okay.
Warriors, Suns, Lakers.
No shot.
Oh, Ben's out.
All right. Heat, 76ers.
No shot.
All right. Would you rather have what about the Knicks?
Of course, the Knicks
We're not
have a
going to
great
say
shot.
anything
Of
to
course.
that.
Okay, so Heat, Knicks, Cavs.
No shot.
Okay. All right. I think
It's tough.
I'm out on after Heat. I'm Heat. The Heat are the last team for me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. 2 more quick ones here. All right. Who's going to have the best sophomore season?
Ooh, I like this.
Jalen Williams, OKC. Jabari Smith.
Houston.
Benedict Mathurin.
Indiana.
Walker Kessler.
Ooh.
Where's Walker Kessler again?
Utah. He's the center
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
Utah Jazz.
Okay, Jalen Williams, Mathurin, Kessler, and who's the other one?
Jabari.
And Jabari Smith. For some reason, I'm leaning Jabari.
I'll go Jalen Williams just because I saw him play once.
All right. I think Jabari's going to have a really good year.
Yeah, I'm leaning Jabari.
I think Jalen Williams, he's going to take just a little step. He's going to
Yeah,
be,
the Chet
because sophomores
coming
are
in.
so known for like taking like a little step back.
Yeah.
And then the third year. Okay. Last little quick shot here. Who is more likely to secure a real rotation role and be good?
Ooh.
Here are your options. Jaime Jaquez,
Okay.
Moses Moody,
Moody.
John Kuminga,
Kuminga.
Sam Hauser, Peyton Watson of the Denver Nuggets that everyone talks about,
A lot of people like
or Zaire Williams from
Ooh.
Memphis Grizzlies. Who's going to secure, like, this guy's in the rotation, and he's a playoff rotation guy.
I'm going Peyton Pritchard.
You're going Peyton Yeah, you can say anyone. If
No,
you
no.
want.
This is easy for me. This is Zaire Williams. I'm a huge Zaire Williams
Zaire
guy.
Williams. He had a huge dunk the other night.
Yeah.
Who's this second guy you said?
Moses Moody.
Yeah, that was my pick.
You picked
I really
Moses
like. I do like Kuminga. He's one of the top preseason scorers.
I do think Kuminga's going to have a good year with Chris Paul.
Yeah,
Something
they seem to have a
tells
little
me.
good vibe. Did you
Yeah.
see last night? There was like Kuminga like sealed off a defender on a drive, and after the play, Chris was like clapping in his face, and Kuminga was all smiley. So I think I don't know. Kuminga, he's still a little like. He just doesn't
He's
quite
rough around
fit
the
in their
edges.
system. Like
Yeah.
he feels like a more not as such of a movement player. So it depends on if and Moody is more like part of the system, but
Yeah.
not as talented.
Yeah.
But they really need Kuminga to do all that stuff. I'm gonna pick Jaime.
I also like Jaime too.
I do think
I
Jaime's
think
going to be in the
he's my guy.
rotation right away.
Yeah, I think he's
Kind
gonna
of.
be a real guy.
Yeah.
He looks good.
Yeah,
All
does
right,
look good.
those are my quick shots for the day.
Do you guys want one trivia question?
Good quick
Yeah,
shots.
one quick trivia question
Let's
to rule them
end it
all.
on the quick triv. On the quick triv. On the quick triv.
Quick trip for 1 point. Do you guys? Well, maybe you know because they said it during the game. What Zach Gallen's nickname is?
Oh shit!
I'm out.
I actually
No
knew.
shot.
I knew this at one point during this. Zach Gallen was my Cy Young pick this year.
Yeah.
I know he got crushed.
What's the nickname? It has to do with his name.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. I want to say the Pelicans.
No, Charles, you have a guess?
Zach Gallen, pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks, by the way.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll go with he's called the Gallic Gun. It's a Vegeta move.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like that, but no, it's the Milkman.
Milk? Oh, I did not know that. Never mind.
Because of the gallon.
Gallon.
Gallon of
Gallon.
milk. Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. You want one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
That's no points. Okay, what sport? Well, according to some random website, what sport has the oldest trophy? What's the trophy for the sport that's been being awarded for the longest time?
Oh, wow.
What's the sport?
The oldest sport, the trophy. Well, in golf they just get a jacket, right? They don't actually get a thing.
You get,
I mean,
There were golf trophies in the top 10, but it wasn't.
It has to be a
wasn't
specific league.
No.
Does it have to be?
Just the sport.
I'm gonna go with. I'll go with rugby.
Ooh, it's a good guess.
Nope. Sorry.
Got
Fixed in
excited.
post.
I'll go baseball. That's I figured. What we got?
The answer is archery.
Oh,
I hate you.
the archery.
All right, and with that,
All right.
let's say goodbye.
All right. Let's
Or you got something else?
Yeah, one last thing. Let's finish the podcast like we do every podcast, which is predicting the World Series again.
World Series predictions. And once the World Series is over, we'll be predicting next year's World Series.
We do this every time.
Every time.
Every episode
All right.
we end.
Ben, who you got now?
Okay, I got so wait, the Phillies are playing the Diamondbacks and the
Yep.
Astros are playing the Rangers, right?
Alfred,
Yep.
Texas.
Okay, I'm gonna go Phillies Astros repeat, but the Phillies win it in 6.
Ooh, I agree. Phillies Astros fills over the
Maybe
Astros
7.
I
in
hate
6.
it, but yeah, I'm in same deal as you guys.
Wow, all right.
Yeah, we're all
love
in
if-
agreement.
if
I
the
think
Knicks
that's
are
how we
on.
gotta end this.
I think
I
so.
like it.
All right.
Of disagreeing, but we end on agreeing.
We actually agreed on a lot.
We did agree on a lot.
We did.
For the first part, we were agreeing on too much.
A little too much.
Then
And then I ripped apart the Pelicans.
all it takes is those 76ers. They just
Oh yeah, the Sixers.
Oh, the Sixers and
yeah,
the
at
Knicks.
us.
Yeah. And the T-Wolves.
Well, that's the end of the episode.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for
See you
tuning
next
in.
time on
This
the
has
No
been-
Shots Pod.
This is No Shots with Chuck and Duck, Engineer Ben on the soundboard.
This was my flu game, by the way.
We finally got Engineer Ben on the soundboard. Their flu game. They're coughing into the mic. They opened the lozenge directly in the mic. I hope you enjoyed that.
Coughing directly
they're working
into
on a
your
movie
eyeball.
now.
They're working on
I
movies,
Doc.
and we'll
I cannot
save
talk about
it
it.
for the
It's a
next
secret.
episode.
Every
It's a teaser.
Okay, but just every episode, they're trying to just find new.
They're doing new
jobs.
stuff, new
They've
jobs.
I
never-
wasn't trying to find this.
Yeah,
New
trying to
jobs.
get away
Trying
from the
out.
No Shots
Don't
podcast.
I think we put too much pressure on.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
cracking.
They're cracking under the pressure.
I'm cracking like Kelly Olynyk.
Next episode, Ben reveals their next job and their early screening of the new Scorsese movie. We'll
Which
get
I
Ben's.
didn't see.
We'll get Ben's review. Oh boy!
I will see it though. I do
All
plan
right.
to see it.
Having not watched the movie, how many stars?
How many stars you give it? What do you give out of 10?
1 star for each hour.
1 star for each hour.
Okay.
All right. This has been the No Shots Podcast. Have a good night. The No Shots Podcast is brought to you by Blurs.com.